Hello, 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 everyone. I'll wait for a few of you guys to come in here. It's a very, very important message. I'm going to check my audio really quickly. So give me a second. Hello, hello. Okay, cool. Alrighty, guys. This is a very urgent message, and I really just have to get the message out. And I have a friend here that has some news for you guys as we've been talking a lot about this crash that's coming, and we've been talking a lot about different coins, and we've been talking a lot about the new financial system. We've been putting together codes, we've been transcribing things, we've been getting messages from source, and all the energy has truly led up to this point. It truly is a turning point in our financial house. So give me just a moment and I'm going to see if I can bring him on the screen. Welcome in. Hi, Juanita. Nice to see you. Hi, Key Love. Hi, I Am Warrior. I was not going to come back at this at what, 10 p.m., but this honestly is an urgent message because the new financial system, as you're going to hear from my friend here, is going to explain to you a little bit about what he sees in the spirit and some things within the natural as well, because we want to make sure that we take everyone with us because this is part of our wealth transfer. This is part of our holy harvest that is coming. Welcome in. Angel Milky Way One, I miss you. I miss you. I miss you guys. When you come in, put a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna try to get him up here, and he's just gonna tell you guys like it's time. It's time. It's time. We've been talking about this thing for a while, but it's time. Give me just 1 second here, guys. And for some reason, I'm trying to bring you up on the screen here. Give me 1 second to figure out why that's not working. But I think that I'm wondering if they can still hear you. But give me a second. Maybe my view. I might need to change the view here. Ah, interesting. Change the view. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to introduce to you guys a very dear friend of mine. His name is Austin. We have a lot of past lives together. He's been one of my healing partners on this crazy journey of this thing that we call life, right? And he's very well versed when it comes to cryptocurrency, and he's just a wealth of knowledge. So I'm going to turn the floor over to Austin, and yeah. So welcome to Instructions for Humanity, Austin. How are you?
Good. Hello. Are you
Hello.
ready? Are you ready to get started?
Yes, I think so. I
All
want to make
right.
sure. I want to make sure everyone can hear you. So please put a 1 in the chat here if you can hear Austin.
Can they
Okay,
hear me?
I
Hello.
believe so.
Hello. Awesome.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. A lot of things have been coming up, especially with this whole Charlie Kirk thing, and I noticed that a lot of people have been channeling this energy of Charlie Kirk. It reminds me a lot of what has been, same thing, back in 2020 when, you had this uproar with George Floyd. You had, obviously politically, and politically, you had the left that was, in uproar regarding George Floyd, the murder of George Floyd. Now you have the right in uproar of the murder of Charlie Kirk. Okay, what's the message in this? All right, well, it just so happens that George Floyd and Charlie Kirk both have the same birthday, October 14th. Okay, George Floyd's birthday was October 14th, 1973. If you go back to 1973, you had a massive downturn in the economy, with oil embargoes, etc. Okay, now you bring it to Charlie Kirk's birthday, which was October 14th, 1993. You had uh, the economy, which was stabilized during the Bill Clinton era, where you had the NAFTA and you had the his whole administration was all about stabilizing the economy with basically where they were doing, kind of like what they did with the basically economically they were trying to stabilize the books, kind of like what we did, with the whole Doge thing. So find it interesting how they both had the same birthday, October 14th. Well, then we look up October 14th, which is World Standards Day. What does World Standards Day mean? Is that we're going into a new system. Obviously, ISO is specifically mentioned. Well, if you look at XRP, XLM, XDC, Quant, HBAR, etc., those are ISO. All those coins meet the ISO standard, the ISO 222 standard, which I find interesting regarding that. So I'll break it down in conclusion. You have the turning point of George Floyd, the murder of George Floyd that happened. George Floyd representing October 14th, which is a World Standard Day, same birthday as Charlie Kirk. That was a turning point in the United States. Now we're at another turning point with Charlie Kirk going into, which represents the World Standard Day, representing a new financial system that's about to happen upon us. And then, Tahirah, take it from here, what you saw when we were talking about that economist.
Oh, okay. Yes. So, guys, this is very interesting. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some coins in the chat. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is not financial advice. We're just telling you what we see in the spirit. We have been probably putting codes together for I don't know, has been close to a year now. It's been a very long time, but there's definitely more coins, and I just put some of those in the chat. And like Source told me a long time ago, I will make enough. It will not be by your hands. And the thing is, guys, I think there's only about 5% of the world that's actually invested in crypto. What Austin is saying is that we've been putting the codes together, and what we truly believe is that George Floyd and Charlie Kirk are leading us to a new financial system. They share the same birth date. What is birth date? Birth date is a portal date. So back in 73, when George Floyd was born, the economy was taking a downturn. We had a crash. We went through a lot of economic issues, right? And so when Charlie Kirk was born, this was 93, same date, October 14th, but we had a good economy, right? And so, what did I talk about earlier? Didn't I talk about transcending this duality focal point? So, if you look with experience, kind of both, right? And now, what we're doing is we're moving together, moving back into the heart space, into oneness now to transcendence. This transcendence, this energy of right and left was needed to prime us for this new financial system. So, what he's essentially saying is that we are about to go totally tokenized. So yes, we still have a dollar. I believe we will have a dollar, but the thing about it is over time that will go away into a digital dollar, right? We will always have some form of currency, and these coins listed, there's a lot more probably we could add in there, especially X coins. Remember the other day I was channeling these X coins, they are very, very important to the new financial system. And specifically, it was very interesting. So as he was putting together those codes, now mind you, he was all of this off of their birth dates, right? That those are all the codes I just transcribed that he put together. And so I don't even know much about these ISO coins, but it essentially led to me channeling a name, just channeling Charles Angel. And I'm like, Charles Angel. Well, I'm not even buy from the Little House of Carrots. They love him. When I pull up Charles Angel, it's interesting because it pulls up to an American economist and the Hester professor in the economics. See, it's too late for a video. In the economics department at the University of Wisconsin, Madison. He does research on nominal real exchange rate movements. So it was just a confirmation that we are talking about the economy and that we are headed into a new financial system. But I found it interesting what stuck out to me when it said that he does research on nominal slash real exchange rate. Well, if you look at exchange, right, that starts with an E, and then rate that starts with the R. So XRP is what we've put together is our world coin. Remember the world coin that we were talking about a few days ago or even last week? So all of the codes have the sound is going out. Oh, good God. This happens to me all the time. I don't know what to do. Can you guys hear me? I'm just not sure why it does this.
Because this is an important message. That's why.
But why only me? Everyone else gets to talk and have sound, and
No,
every time I have
it
something
happens to others too.
important to say, this always happens.
Yeah.
Um, but let me see. I'm not sure why it does. Date is a portal date. It's better now? Okay. I'm not sure. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't
No.
know how much we missed out on that, but here's the thing. It's it's way too late for me to be doing a video. My mind is kind of all
I'll
is
go into
gonna
a couple prophecies and we can end it.
well, yeah, I just the thing is I want them to understand. Like me, my style is I normally bring people their
No,
flow.
this is great. Yeah, absolutely.
but but because I know that this is new to people, so they may not
Right, right,
understand what an ISO coin is. Because I know guys
right.
like it's it's one thing
ISO
for
222 is a banking standard. And we're going from industrial to technical. That's what this is about. And that's where the that specific date, being World Standards Day, it's a standardized system that the globalists are taking us into, and that's a representation of World Standard Day. It's their day, the world standard. That's the whole standard we're going to is, the into a new banking system. So
and you're saying that's happening on their
it's
birthday.
not specifically going to happen on that day. That is the celebration day is what it is. But there is a day where it all turns on, and I believe it's in November. We'll have to look that up. I believe it's in November. In fact, let me. I'll look it up right now. Hold on. Are
While
you
you're
there?
looking that up, yeah, yep.
Okay.
While
So
while you're looking that up, so what he's saying, remember we were talking about a world coin. I was seeing a world coin, and I was saying it may be different coins, but representing different countries or just a world coin. And so October 14th is actually what do you call it again? World what day?
the world standard.
World Standard Day, which has to do with what does the world
Sorry, the world standard day
hmm
is it's a well, I'll just look it up so I give you the right definition.
okay. And
Okay. So World Standard Day is Tuesday, October 24th, 2025. Okay, and specifically, it's an international day celebrated on October 14th. The day honors the standards development organizations that aims to awareness among regulators of industry and consumers of the importance of standardization to the global economy. That's the exact definition. That's per Wikipedia. Are you there? Hello?
you can't hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you explain them in layman's terms?
Were you able to hear that or not?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Explain to them in layman's terms what that means. Because you would assume they don't know anything about this.
So it's a basically it's a day that honors the the global standardization. You have several organizations that come together, such as the BIS, Banking of International Settlements, among other organizations that are implementing this new standardization, banking global economic standardization, which is going to be technical. That is their day of awareness. Their day of celebration is October 14th.
Okay.
And when you had the turning point of, when George Floyd was a turning point, Charlie Kirk is a turning point. Are you
Okay.
there?
Yeah, I'm here. So,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know how to I put those coins in the chat. Yeah, Austin, I really don't know how to explain this. Like I
Okay.
don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it.
You explained it already, in
Yeah,
perfect
I guess
terms,
that's
I thought
okay.
so.
Well, I guess that's it then. Um, but
Wait a
essentially,
minute. I want to talk about this prophecy that I had 3 years ago,
okay.
if that's okay. Might as well get this out. So I had a dream. This is approximately 3 years ago. So what it was there was two camels. There's two girls on separate camels. There's two camels, two females on each were on a camel, and I had to kiss these camels. And I knew in my awareness that I had to kiss these camels so that they can come find me. So then I was brought to an awareness of these, like this. It was like a path that was gated. You had gates on each side, and I was outside the gates, and among me were these globalists. And this big fat guy, and he's laughing at these people that were going down this path. And I believe it to be a path that these globalists are trying to lead the people through. And this fat guy was laughing at him, and the girls on the camels were starting to go down that path. And then I heard in an audible voice that you need 12,000 XRP to never run out of money. Then I took off running. The girls on the camels turned around to get off the path and to come find me. And then I woke up. So I don't even
Wow.
think you're not even gonna need, you're not gonna need a whole lot of these coins. I mean, 12,000 XRP to never run out of money. That's an insane amount of money. So I mean, you're looking at in terms of, just having, a few coins, I think, and there's people that have seen prophecies of these things being, of XRP being, $25,000 in XRP, obviously at a much later date. I wouldn't expect that anytime soon by any stretch of the measure. So,
Right. Right.
and then just so everybody knows that the Swift payment system right now is test netting XRP, they're test netting HBAR, they're test netting Avalanche, and Ethereum. So
What
test
does that
they're
mean exactly?
they're testing it right now to implement these, within their payment protocol.
Okay.
And Swift, if you're not familiar with Swift, Swift is the system, the global payment system for cross border payments that basically the United States has a uh, a say in how this goes, and they weaponize it, like against Russia. They just take them off the Swift payment system so they can't transfer money, and therefore, which made Russia come up with their own the BRIC system. That's what
Hmm.
this is all about here. So they came up with a BRIC system that way they can get out of the Western payment system of Swift. So
Hmm.
the Western countries will probably continue to use Swift, and Swift is a messaging system in and of itself, and which will have to
Oh,
which will
look.
which the
This
Swift.
thing just, I'm so sorry.
That's all
Someone
right.
is disturbing us. This thing just popped up and it said that AI is reading notes. Like, what?
Okay,
Like,
yeah, let them have it. Let
what?
them have it. Yeah, let them have it. Yep, we figured you guys out.
Okay.
So
because I think that we're gonna have to come like and do it. Like it's way too late for me to be doing a
All right.
video.
Yeah.
But
Well. Yeah.
no, wait,
Enjoy the
Hold on,
information,
Austin.
guys. Yeah.
Calm
Yeah.
down. Wait, we're not done. We're not done yet.
All
Because I
right.
don't like, I'm long-winded. So I like to explain. There's two sorts of people. I have to explain every detail leading up so that people understand. That's just a personality
Absolutely.
type.
Absolutely.
Someone is asking what about the stock market? And then they're saying, sounds choppy, but Austin is clear. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I can't get a clear. I have no idea. Give me a second. This is the weirdest thing ever. It's like, why can't anyone ever hear me? Hmm. One second. So odd and bizarre. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Can
I
you hear
can hear you. Yeah. I can hear you.
me? Okay.
It sounds robotic, but
I
it works.
okay, someone's saying it's clear now. I
Yeah.
do I sound robotic to you?
You do to me, but that's okay.
Okay, this is just
Sure.
crazy. I'm almost wanting to just start this whole thing over. No, no, I'm a perfectionist.
No, no, have it.
I'm I'm a perfectionist. I'm sorry. Um, okay, let me say this. There is a lot of chaotic energy surrounding this as I'm doing the automatic writing here. In fact, there is so much chaotic energy, but this is all combined, guys. Like everything that I've been channeling with Candace and Charlie and all the automatic drawings. Oh my God, I wish we could start this over because I am about to get in. Um,
They want authenticity. You're
yeah,
okay.
thank you. There's a lot of chaotic energy, but in truth, it aligns with everything that I've been picking up in their energy field because when we zone out, we're talking about a collective shift, a collective turning point. And what I see here still showing up in our financial system, and this is probably a video for another day, it's still that same sort of, kind of energy, which feels to be, attached to some sort of entity. So, I don't really want to go into that tonight, but the thing about it is, all of this energy we're feeling is to cause chaos and confusion. There's something very poignant about September 23rd because that's showing up here too. But guys, this will be the House of Mirrors. And the way, see, this is coming through a channel message. Source is saying this will be a House of Mirrors. The way that you're going to get your wealth transfer, here's the thing, Source won't even allow you to do it. The House of Mirrors is for you to look in the mirror, not just one mirror. Look at the warped view of not just your reality, but how you fit into it. We have such a warped view of ourselves. We're holding on to so much heaviness, that lower third I keep talking about. If you want the wealth transfer, guys, we have to get rid of the warp, the way we warp our own image. Because Source loves us truly and completely how we are. But when we hold on to the house of mirrors and the negative thought forms, I'm not this, I'm not that, well, I could never be, rich, and this is not for me, then that's what part of the lower third. And it's part of what we were just channeling, Austin, before we came on here, that there has been an attack on our mind. And that's also too collectively, when I look at the Charlie Kirk situation and even Candace Owens to some extent, we can look at it like an attack on our mind, right? This is, we are partly attacking our mind because these energies, these entity energies, they don't want you to have this wealth transfer. They don't want you to get this knowledge. They don't want you to go and open an exchange and to start to purchase some of these coins. And they definitely don't want you to hold them because when you hold them, they go up. And when you hold them for a period of time, you become multimillionaires. They don't want that. And trust me, they will do everything they can do to get you loose from these coins. We trust me, we've both gone through it. You won't believe the things that the universe will send to try to test you, or the the negative entities, right, working through universal codes to try to get these coins loose. But nevertheless, just know how you actually get your wealth transfer. You gotta get rid of the house of mirrors. We spook ourselves. No one's judging us. It's ourselves that's judging us, right? Judgment of anything, it's too dense. It can't go. And as we see the turning point, and we see the polarities between both of these situations, the Charlie and George Floyd, it's to point you to where we are going. We're going into a new financial system, which kind of does line up with their birth date, right? So you do need some of this physical knowledge, but you also need to really, really get rid of the denseness. Um, yeah, in order to actually facilitate what Source has for us, right? Um, I would like,
Detach Detachment is key. You have to detach. And basically, and it's like this. You have there is you got to live in the now. There is no past. There is no future. There's only right now. So take with it what you want on that. So
um,
sorry.
no, that's okay. There's so many more prophecies that you have. I mean, I almost feel, I don't know why. Do you feel rushed at the moment?
No.
You don't? I feel this,
Uh,
I feel this rushed energy. So please share more prophecies with us, because you have a lot of them.
okay. So the I'll give you guys another there's a Zebek. So I was standing in the parking lot of a grocery store, and there was this I got recently. I'd say probably about 2 or 3 months ago. There was Zebek is the coin reference is ZBCN. ZBCN had a nice pump. I don't know how much. I want to say it was about a 3x or so. So I ended up selling it. And then about 2 days after the 3x, I got this dream. I believe it was in July. So this was a where I was standing in a parking lot of a grocery store, and I was with two other people, and there was the street was flooding outside of the parking lot. And from there, the one of the people that I was standing with, he said he was going to go ahead and go to his car. He wanted to get home before everything completely flooded. Comes back and says, it's too late." So then my awareness went into the break room of this specific grocery store. And in the break room, there was a different guy that was in there watching basketball, and he was mentioning Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag was playing, and and those who don't know, Cooper Flag played for Duke this past basketball season. He was the very first pick of the 2025 NBA draft. So, and I looked at the TV, and he was talking about how great Cooper Flag was, and he's doing well. And I said, yeah, it's kind of funny. It was just yesterday, like last year, that he was playing for Duke. And for whatever reason, the awareness, it seemed to be like playoff time, like it was spring. And then I walk outside of the grocery store, and I saw a banner, or I walked out of the break room and I saw a banner that said, "We accept Zebek." And I thought that was kind of odd, because what I knew of Zebek being was a payment protocol for it was a payment protocol, specifically what I thought was for payroll, where basically you get paid after a day's wage, instantaneous. And I looked it up, and sure enough, yeah, they're trying to go into the avenue of retail stores for payments and stuff. So I found that very interesting. So I went ahead and start buying Zebek again. So that would be another one for you. H bar. There was an elevator dream on for H bar, and basically it was the H bar symbol on an elevator, and then the elevator was raising up, and then it went into this party room where the XRP symbol was dancing with, dancing there, and H bar got off the elevator and was dancing right there with XRP. That was specifically in I want to say that was in the springtime last year. I believe it was March. I've had a couple Luna Classic dreams, and Luna was always with Sheba. So in my dreams they were dogs specifically, and it's been a long time since I've actually had a dream. These things tend to manifest more physically now. And the reason being is I just don't like the coins in general. I find them to be junk coins. But there's something to these coins, and I'll just give you examples here. So in my dreams, I've had probably three dreams 3 or 4 years ago on these. Is approximately 3 years ago of Sheba, the Sheba dog in this specific in the dreams, and then Luna. It was a dog as well, but it was like a bulldog. So I'm not going to go into the dreams that I hardly remember them, but I'll go into the physicality of these specific dogs. So I was at an airport specifically, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning, guys, and a Shiba Inu somehow got loose in the airport. And it wasn't anybody's dog. It was this dog came in from off street. Now, mind you, before then, when I woke up and getting ready to fly out, I was I wanted to sell this Shiba, and because I was just kind of I was done with it. I was tired of it, and I have a hard time believing that this thing's going to go to a cent, or some people see it as a dollar. I have a hard time believing it, and I was just getting ready to sell it. Well, this Shiba dog specifically came up to me and was teasing me. It would go to anybody else, but it was specifically coming up to me and teasing me, and I ended up helping to catch this thing, and I caught this thing in a bar. Well, I'll just tell myself here, I do like to drink, you know. So now I'm going to go in, and we ended up catching this thing and caught it in a bar. Now I'm going to fast forward into a few other Shiba things here that specifically happened, and Luna Classic. So I had was back in, I want to say, was it 2023? I believe it was December when Shiba and Luna both went to the moon. It was in December. I was sitting in a bar having a drink, and there was a guy. He was there with his girlfriend, and they had a friend with them. And again, I was kind of down on the markets because they were just not doing well. And then this gal started talking about her Shiba, how much she loves her Shiba dog. Well, then the guy started talking about his bulldog that his name was Luna, and how much he loves him. And I was just like, and I thought to myself, I can't believe this. Like, I don't even want to hear about crypto right now. Well, the next day, those things went to the moon, absolutely went to the moon. Okay, so now fast forward, I want to say in July, I was at a I was up at a concert, and I came across, and people started seeing. I think Tyra, you were starting to see, some Luna stuff, like
Oh,
Luna signs everywhere, and
everywhere.
yeah, everywhere. Well, and not to mention we were seeing X everywhere. I saw an X in the sky, and but anyways,
Everywhere.
and that was in July, and well, in July I came across it was a restaurant. First of all, I saw a bulldog, and then we saw like a restaurant, and it was the only restaurant in this area that we were going to eat. And it was Luna Cafe. And I saw a bulldog prior to that. That was, I call it the Luna dog. Every time I see a bulldog, it's a Luna dog. All right. And then, so a couple days later, I was driving down the road, and I saw it was called Luna Roofing. I just kind of looked over to the left of me, and oh, that's interesting. Luna Roofing. All right. And then I would say about 2 weeks later, again, I was in a bar and I happened upon a Shiba Inu that was sitting in the bar. And this is no joke, guys. I kid you not. There
These
was
are,
a Shiba
by the
Inu
way,
in a
there was
bar.
a dog in the bar,
This is all in the bar, you
and it was
know.
the
So
dog.
Shiba Inu dog in the bar. So there you have it. I mean, there's a couple other prophecies I think, but just there's been so many of them, guys. I can't remember. But I'm telling you, you're those of you that are waiting on, Shiba Inu, waiting on Luna Classic. There's going to be something big in this. This is going to be life changing for many of you, and you're not going to need a lot. And I can tell you, there's probably over time that, not financial advice, but over time, this very well may turn into Ascent and or however much these people are seeing, despite that it's hard to believe.
Right. So,
So
so thank you so much. So it's just crazy. Like we get so many of these all day, like, and we'll text each other like, "Hey, I just saw this. I just saw this. I just saw that." Like I'm telling you, it's in the most weird places, like license plates, and like just randomly. Every time I'm thinking about like the market or something, I will literally be driving past a building or actually Luna Classic. Because sometimes I'm like, when are these things going to move? They just been sitting there forever, right? Because Source said it's for a forgotten coin, but it will literally, explode. So every time I'm like thinking about that, I literally see like a sign on a bank. I'll be passing a bank, near where I live, and it'll say Source Bank. So some of these coins that may seem like meme coins, you still want to, if you have them, don't lose hope because they're so cheap, they're under a penny. Sometimes these are all that people can afford. So Source is saying that the wealth you'll get from those coins is going to come from my bank. It's all from Source Bank. The wealth transfer is from Source Bank. So of course, when we're getting into the XRP, that's about roughly $3 right now. But still, guys, think about it. Bitcoin was once $3, and now Bitcoin is for $100,000. It's
and you still have H bar that's I think 23 cents right now.
okay.
And again, in that dream, it was dancing up there with XRP. And like I said, Swift payment system, and the Swift trillions of dollars. They're sending off trillions of dollars of payments per year. And I mean, probably in the, I don't know the exact number, but it's in the trillions, I think, per day, that they're sending off. And so, you start sending that much money, that has to be big. It has to be. It can't be cheap. And right now, like I said, they're test netting, which test netting is they're testing out. And do I think they're going to use just one coin? I really don't. I'm telling you, H bar is fantastic technology, just like XRP is.
Yeah.
Avalanche, fantastic technology. And Ethereum, everything is on Ethereum. Everything. And don't underestimate Ethereum either. That thing's a monster.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of Ethereum dreams too. Just because it hasn't moved.
Me too.
Uh, and
Ethereum. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you another thing too. Chainlink is already partnered with Swift payments. That thing's going to be an absolute monster as well. And I don't own any Chainlink, but I know a guy specifically who this guy is. He's been into crypto since the beginnings of it, and that's his top coin. And he's done a lot of research. And Chainlink's going to be a monster for sure.
So there's a few comments down here. And you know what I want to do? I probably, because like this was just honestly, guys, we just had to get this down because literally Source said we just got to get this down because honestly, too, I feel like something could happen tomorrow as well. I don't want it
And,
and
and for the Christians out there, right now we're in a holiday specifically. Um, and that's what I identify as Christian. But there's a specific holiday right now. It's
Is it Rosh Hashanah
Rosh Hashanah,
or
correct?
Yom Kippur?
And Yom Kippur is, I think, October 1st or 2nd, I believe, of this year. I don't really follow the Jewish holidays, but I do know that if you go back in history, there are a lot of things that happen on these certain feasts, on these feasts, and so, do I know that anything's in it? No, I don't. But the energy is definitely chaotic, and I have had some dreams where there's been, basically I'm in a safe house per se, and then there's like fire and chaos out on the streets. What that means, I don't know specifically. I really don't, and I'm not gonna, tell you otherwise. So
Okay, thank you, Austin. There's a few questions here. So someone says, I thought crypto was going to crash, and then someone else is talking about, well, what about the stock market? So do you want to explain this or?
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so yeah, I'll just tell you this dream that I had. Okay, so I had specifically a dream, and it was over the summertime where, yeah, and they're just dreams, guys. Okay, so this isn't like financial advice. You can take what you want from it. All right. So it was a dream, and where I saw it was at 1 million. The crypto account was at $1 million. Stop, and then it went from 1 million, went 1, 2, 3, 4 million, 100,000. Don't know what that means. So if you look back
Mean?
in the, huh?
I know
Hello. If
names.
if you if you look back in the past crypto cycles, you will specifically see where there is, you got, what goes up must come down, and that's just common sense right there. What goes up must come down. However, if you just write it out, because we don't know, you cannot time these markets right now. We if you look at the past, you would have already thought the bull run would have already manifested, and it hasn't. So I wouldn't even try to time the markets. If you just look at what Warren Buffett specifically says, it's not timing the markets, it's time in the markets.
Mhm.
So, if you need money and it goes up, I would take the safe approach and just take some profits. If it goes up, take some profits and leave a little bit for a later day. You know, that's the safe route. But
Yeah.
to get in and sit here and some of these people, oh, it's going to go down, sell. No, don't do that. You're going to lose. Because if it goes back up, we can't time this thing. There's no way of timing it.
So
Prophecy or not, because there's been a lot of prophecy out there where people have gotten it wrong and it's been taken wrong. You don't do it. Don't get caught up into that. There is, because you don't know. Yeah, you don't know when, and people that come up with dates and stuff, that they've been they've been made to look silly because it hasn't manifested. I'll give you specifically when back in 2021, 2022, you had all these people, that were, prophesying 100,000 Bitcoin. And what happened? Bitcoin crashed down to 16,000. Well, yeah, they were right. They were right. It's up over $100,000 a day, but they didn't have the timing right on it. So you don't even try to time this. Just get your bags packed. If take a little bit of profit when this thing comes up, take some profit, but leave some for a rainy day. You're not going to need a whole lot when this economic system monkey bars over to the new financial system. You're not really going to need a lot because you're already in.
Okay, also too, thank you very much, Austin. I got a few things I want to tell you guys about the market. So as I'm sitting here, I was channeling beetle, right? And so source brought me to the spiritual meaning of beetle. Spiritual meaning of beetle is transformation, resilience, protection, and the cycle of life. This is just a confirmation. We are moving into a new world. You guys have been on this channel. What I tell you, ain't nothing real, because literally the thread has been pulled out of this reality. So what do they have to do? Create a new one that we will believe in again. The beauty about that is we have the opportunity to be the haves and not the have-nots. It's a whole new timeline, guys. And what Source is saying, what this is going to provide us with transformation, resilience, protection, and this is the cycle of life. Old things have to pass away. That's why I was like, left and right, no, transcendence, right? Transcendence through love and being light as a feather, releasing the illusions, right? And we are protected. Source told me a long time ago that if you just buy $300 of XRP, now mind you, his prophecy is if you have 12,000 XRP, you'll never run out of money. But that's a lot of money, right? But Source is just saying if you have 300,
It is now. It wasn't then. You know, like
right,
when I got that, I mean, that thing went down to, it was like 33 cents at the time. You could
right.
have gobbled up a lot. And you're talking never run out of money. That's an astronomical amount of money. Just
Exactly, right? You just spin, and never run out of money. Well, Source is saying, guys, if you can pick up at least $300 of XRP, and you don't have to buy, I don't care if you have put $5 a day, just do whatever you can. I don't care if it's $5 a week. Because when the new financial system turns on, it's like we're gonna turn the lights off. And when we turn the lights back on in the morning, it's gonna be a new world. That's what they're building. That's why none of this feels real. Israel. None of it feels Israel real, because we are literally, guys, they are literally building a whole new terrain. 95% of the population are not even invested in crypto. So the fact that you will invest, you'll be doing better. If you just invest $5, you will be doing better than what 95% of the people who have not invested, right? Because the thing about it is the dollar will start to lose, of course, its power, because everything will be tokenized, everything will be digital currency. And so remember with the XRP, what I saw earlier last year or later last year was that you're going to be able to have home loans. You're going to be able to essentially use these things as collateral. You're not going to have to necessarily spend it. I personally would, not go spending a lot of XRP, or that's me personally. I'm not telling you what to do. It depends on how much you have, but if you don't have a lot, I would hold that, because like I said, um Bitcoin was once $3, and now it's over 100K. And at the time when Bitcoin fell to 16K or 15K, I had an opportunity to buy one and I didn't, because people were saying, oh, it's going to go lower, but it never did. So you can't time this thing. If you feel that you see a good price, you can dollar cost average in. And so what that means is you buy a little, on dips, on red days, when you see the market is red, you buy a little bit. But you want to have a long-term mentality, because when you think about back in the day, everything used to be about gold. There was a time when they literally start taking gold away from the everyday man. This is actually what's already happening to the dollar. It's not just the inflation we're experiencing. What this is to get the dollar out of circulation. Thank you, Source. They need to get the paper dollars out of circulation. So this is also too why the inflation is happening, because we are literally moving into a new world. But what Source is saying is that this is like, this is the cycle of life. A new world has to begin. Like I said, today or tomorrow, this is the end of the age portal. All you must do is to release the doubts, release the part of you that you don't like. Whatever part of you that you don't like, that's the part that Source, wants you to change, right? And wants you to rise up from. And just moving through, this portal, light as a feather in the heart space, and the
don't
market.
get
Sorry, go ahead.
don't get shaken out either. Like, don't get, you see it go down, even if it goes down, like, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100% even, right? I mean, just use it as an analogy. Just do not get shaken out. Do not get shaken out. It's fear. It's fear is where people lose out. You look in the Great Depression, people run into the banks, because the stock market went down. Well, ultimately, did the stock market not go back up? It sure did. It's cyclical. And Warren Buffett even says, that when there's blood in the streets, that's when you start investing. And that's just an analogy as well. So when people get fearful, you get greedy. And this is another term, that he uses. When people get fearful, you get greedy. When people are greedy, that's when you tend to, that's when you sell. That's when you get a little bit fearful and start selling. That doesn't mean, in this, when it comes to crypto, that doesn't mean you sell everything, because we can't time this thing. We just know that they're monkey barring into this new system. And what I mean by monkey bar is they're going to swing from fiat to digital. That's where this is all going. And if you want to reference on, the history of the changing of currency, Ray Dalio has a great book on it, where he explains all this. This is nothing new under the sun. And it lines up with what's going on politically. And you have political chaos, a rift between, the left and right politically. It's happened in history, and it's happening now, and it'll happen again. So there you have it. So
Also, I'm getting chain link here in my channel. Is my, I'm channeling chain link as well, which I think you mentioned. Um,
yeah.
so here's the thing: when I'm channeling with chain link, there's 3 coins that will be attached to this chain link. I'm not sure. Have you heard anything about
Uh,
chain link with XRP and the X coins?
XRP is definitely, I've heard that's going to be attached to it. Not sure what else.
It's showing up
So,
here for me. I was getting a link, and then, it's three
but
coins.
yeah,
Yeah, there's 3 coins. It's going to be attached to that chain link.
yeah. I'm telling you guys, that chain link is going to be big.
Yep.
I don't own any of it either, but
I don't either. I'm
yeah,
just seeing
I'm
it
telling you that.
now. I'm just seeing
And
it.
the partnerships on that is, there's a lot of good partnerships on it.
It's
And
interesting.
and and the reason why I don't own it, guys, because I got so many others. So that I own a little bit of. I can't, you can't own them all.
Yeah.
And then so tokenization is going to be another big thing. Every asset or everything of value is going to be tokenized on chain. And so another good one to follow. It's a website where you'll be able to follow this, where they show real time tokenization. I believe is. Let me look it up here real quick.
And also,
This is a great tool. XY. I think it's. Hold on.
okay.
Give it to XYZ. Okay. It's RWA dot XYZ. Again, RWA dot XYZ. And it shows the real time, and it shows the protocols that everything's being tokenized. So I'll just go to the top 5 right now. I'll go top 10. Ethereum is number 1, and it's like ZK Sync Era is number 2. Polygon's number 3. That's going to be big too. Aptos is number 4. Solana is number 5. Stellar is number 6. Avalanche is 7. 8 is BNB Chain. 9 is Arbitron. 10 is XRP. And that's just right now. This is the beginning phase of it. So, and things are already being tokenized on these chains.
Awesome.
And,
Thank
and Larry Fink, this is another thing too. Larry Fink he's the head of BlackRock, and he's also, Klaus Schwab has stepped down for the World Economic Forum, and he is now the chairman of the World Economic Forum. So he's heading the World Economic Forum, and he's heading BlackRock. And he specifically is telling you that Everything of value is going to be tokenized on that blockchain. And what will that allow us to do? Allow us to fractionalize. We'll be able to buy fractions of property, etc. So, and it'll be able to be traded 24 hours a day. So,
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks,
yeah.
Gail, for the super chat. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Guys, this is just starting the conversation. I realize, you know, we just had to get this down. And then we're going to come back with some more videos about this because, you know, I realize that some of you guys are quite new to, you know, to this space. But the thing about it is you need to really sit with source because this is coming swift. And what did you say about Swift? What's Swift?
Swift is the financial payments messaging system that the world is using for cross-border payments.
Okay, and what coin?
And we're going into ISO 222. Remember October 14th being that awareness, the standardization awareness. Well, it specifically mentions ISO on there. You know, that's a part of their their system. Okay, and so ISO 222 is already live as of July 14th, I believe, this year. It's already live. Okay, they have until November to get this thing for a 100% implementation. And if they don't, you know, they become obsolete. The banks, they have to. This is a have to thing. This is a standardization must across the world that these banks, in order to receive these payments, otherwise they become obsolete.
So what he's saying is that the banks are basically due to be, you know, like dinosaurs if they don't get into compliance.
Adopt this, correct. They have to be compliant.
Yeah.
With ISO 222. And that's where we're talking about with that October 14th being Charlie Kirk's birthday and George Floyd's birthday. That is World Standardization Day. Well, ISO is a standard that is coming into effect right now, being utilized as of July 14th, and it has to be implemented by November. So, and that's where the standardization, that's their day of recognizing the standardization. ISO is specifically mentioned within that. And that's ISO 222 is the banking standard that must be implemented. Hopefully you guys understood what I'm talking about here.
So what we're gonna have to do, thank you, Crypto Gamer is on it. Yeah, so he has your dates as well. So we're gonna have to like have a time for you to come. I think like at least once a week, Austin, because the thing is we got to get everyone. We gotta get everyone in position. Everyone wants to. This is not, you know, you don't have to buy, you don't have to do anything, but this is the energy, guys. It's not about black or white, right or left. It's about a new system, and they've already been building the infrastructure for a very long time, and then they scare people to get out of it. So someone was asking about how does a crypto affect the stocks? Let me tell you something about crypto. So crypto is, well, normally was, but this cycle was different. Crypto normally runs in seasons, so like every 4 years per se, right? So we were due for a crypto, you know, run already. Probably it should have happened like near the holidays last year. And
well, it
we,
kind of started in November, but then it just abruptly ended.
it just
You know,
ended.
and that was the first phase.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but normally it would have been a lot more explosive. But see, I think Source has given us time to get in. So what I wanted to do, because some people are like, oh dear, I know this is overwhelming.
and just so you know, the stock market itself is going to be tokenized on the chain there, on the blockchain there. So which specifically are they going to use? Not sure at this moment. So I mean, there's been rumors out there, but everything of value, the stock market, even money, even currency right now, and you know, right now that's what's kind of keeping the dollar afloat. You have the I keep wanting to say CD or the hold on, central bank digital currency, but it's not the stable coins. Thank you. So it's the stable coins that they are right now that's keeping the dollar afloat because that's what's you got these like circles of stablecoin company. They're buying dollars for to basically back their stable coin. That's right now. That's the only that is the that is the only thing that's keeping this dollar afloat right now. Because the other countries in the world, they're done with it because they know we're $37 trillion in debt. And I think that this is probably going to be the fix to our debt. We're gonna transmute this debt into crypto to pay off this system. That's what I think is going to happen, but I don't know how. And maybe it's Bitcoin. They're going to send Bitcoin to the moon and it's going to cut our debt in half. Or maybe it's XRP. XRP is said to be the solve of the liquidity crisis. No more Nasa Vostro accounts. So
There's something very interesting coming through. I'm channeling some sort of woman above all of this. It looks like Mother Mary. I don't know. It's interesting, guys. I'll probably get more tonight when I fall asleep. But there definitely is a presence here. There is a either a biblical or angelic presence that is
both.
providing the protection. You will be protected, is what he's saying. Do not worry about a crash or whatever, guys. You are going to be protected. There is Mother Mary energy here above all of this. The beetle I was channeling, providing protection, right? You will be protected and you will not be neglected. So that's coming through. I know this was a lot and it was choppy, but I needed for us to lay this down. And then, we'll set up another time for you to come where we can be on camera. And we probably need to, guys, so this is your homework assignment. If you do not have an exchange, you need to sign up on an exchange. So whether that's, I don't know, there's a lot of wonky ones, guys, because the cell triggers is another issue. But
Point you'll be safe with Coinbase probably. That's the easiest one to get into. And Robinhood, I think's but Robinhood, they don't have a whole lot of selection.
yeah,
But
they have like now,
Coinbase is the most popular one, and I think you'll be okay there.
okay.
So
So I'll just give them a rundown. So Coinbase, Robinhood, there's Uphold, there's Kraken. I'm not sure about.
I would just stick to those right there.
Yeah. So pick an exchange, get yourself signed up, put whatever you have in there on the side, because sometimes it does take a few days or up to like 5 days for your funds to actually fund the account. So see whatever you can put in there. If you have $100, 500, if you have $50, whatever it is you have. And then we'll meet back here and we'll start getting you guys into something because it's about, I realize that some people don't know a lot about this, but this is
And if,
coming.
and if there's a chaotic event of any kind in the next few days or whatever, just you're going to be okay. You'll be okay. I don't know what the chaotic event is or if there's going to be one at all. So,
Yeah,
so just know you're going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine.
voice of reason.
Right, right.
He has to tell me that sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, Austin, the codes are chasing. I do. Tired,
Yep.
all gonna be fine.
Yep.
In his dry voice. Um,
Yep.
yeah, so there's gold and silver mine as well. Yes. Also, too, yeah, there was a prophecy about about gold, right? And silver, right? That you had.
I know I did not.
Oh,
But I mean that's just that's common sense. My only concern with gold
liquidity.
and silver, my only concern with gold and silver, it's absolutely going to blow through the top. However, when you go to sell it, are they going to be able to? Are they going to buy at those high prices?
Yeah.
It's going to have to stabilize before they buy, before you're able to sell it. So just be mindful of that. I think you absolutely 100% cannot go wrong buying gold and silver. It is going to go up. Period. We know that, for everybody knows that for a fact. But again, you're going to have to wait for stabilized prices before you're able to sell. Just so
Yeah.
you know.
Someone says, what about Binance? What do you think about Binance? I don't.
So I think, wasn't it Binance USA that had a problem? There
I,
was a problem with
I
Binance a couple years ago. I can't remember what it was.
all my Luna.
Uh, d- yeah, there was an issue with Binance
Yeah.
a couple years ago, and but I know there's people that are buying coins off of off these wallets, utilizing like Pancake Swap and things like that. And if you know what you're doing, yeah, you can. It's a blue ocean out there.
Yeah.
If you know how to utilize those. I'm not well versed in that, and I'm also knowing that there are liquidity problems with
Yeah.
some of these coins. That will go way up. So you could be sitting on $1 million, but there's no liquidity. So
And
you get on these main exchanges, you don't have to worry about liquidity at
yeah.
all. It's there. Now one thing that you will have to worry about is getting locked out. And what I mean by that is when a coin goes absolutely through the roof and it's not stabilized, you're not going to be able to sell it because it's too volatile.
Yep.
So,
Happened to
but
me.
happened to me too. Happened to me with XCN last year.
Yeah.
But you're going to be able to these things will stable out, and they'll stable out once this thing, and that's why I'm saying when these things go through when they start to go up, feel free to take profit, but keep some for the long term, because when this thing flips, these things are going to be very valuable. And it's not about, because right now you have retail money in there, but when you want the institutions, you want the institutional money, that's where the wealth transfer is going to come from. Institutional money. So that's all I got.
Okay. Awesome. So Crypto Gamer says only sell when want to essentially take profits, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Want to
But
trade for
in the safe bet there. There's one guy that's on YouTube, Coach JV. He talks about and I mention him specifically because he takes it's a great approach. When the thing grows up, he gradually, calmly, he says, takes profits, sells 50% of what he has, and he keeps 50% long term. And it worked for him the last time. The guy lost everything. His story was kind of interesting, where he basically lost his business during COVID, and did not sell his crypto when it went up. He took 50% of his crypto. Now he does say that he holds Bitcoin and he's going to hold Bitcoin forever, but Bitcoin is just a recent investment that he started making, and then sold 50% of his crypto, and then he took that money, and then he started putting that money. He started putting it into his buying businesses with it, starting businesses, because it's about cash flow. Cash is trash. It's cash flow. And then he put it into like dividend ETF. And then as he continues to grow it, grow his businesses and things like that, and gets, more cash flow, then he's going to start venturing into real estate.
and that's a whole nother subject
That's
when
a whole
we'll
nother
get to
subject.
that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Just if you start getting into real estate, you better have some fat pockets, and you better be able to work on do some work on that in the beginning stages.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can really lose yourself with it.
Yeah, so someone made a good point. Long term, keep a bag, meaning to hold some of the crypto back, don't sell it. So you can earn yield and and borrow against it. Absolutely. You
Yeah,
got
I forgot to mention this. There's a friend of mine who had, he just recently got into crypto, and he's said he's been studying about 8 hours a day. I mean, just going all in on this, and he's already contacted Chase Bank, and they're ready to. He said that they're ready to, he's in the process of diverting his crypto over to the bank. The banks are wanting to custody this stuff. So, and you're going to be able to, you know, have a return, gain a yield on that. So I don't know what kind of yield. I haven't looked into it yet, but that's where this is going. The banks are going to be there to custody this crypto. They want this crypto. So
someone, thank you, Austin. Someone's asking, they talk about storing crypto on a wallet so it doesn't get hacked. Is that the safest bet? Here's the thing, guys. The thing is this. The whole point, like Trump or hate him, but the rich will always take care of the rich. That's why they're trying to literally put in a lot of these laws in place to make this not like the wild, wild west, right? So, I don't know how close we are to that, but before, like people get their crypto jacked and there are all sorts of thieves everywhere. And some
I,
people can even steal them on the crypto wallet. So
I had a friend of mine who does it the old fashioned way and has a wallet, and he had $20,000 stolen out of his wallet, and this guy's he's a genius with this stuff, and I mean, to the point where he was minting, he had his own NFT and stuff like that. I mean, that's how smart this guy was. And yeah, he got $20,000 jacked off of one of his wallets, and that was a wallet where you use Pancake Swap, etc.
yeah,
So, and I'll tell you where a lot of that came from was getting on X, reading, that's where you get a lot of information about crypto, but on X, but you got to be careful of what you click on, because when you click on certain links that will give, these hackers have gotten very sophisticated where they'll be able to get inside your wallet somehow. So a safe bet would be to keep your wallet off of your phone, and keep it on whether it's an exchange and or a crypto wallet. Is the safest bet is to keep it off of your phone, keep it on a computer, and just not have it up and available. That way, when you do click on links, and another good thing too now is you got the to identify
authenticate.
identification process, or whatever it is,
Mhm.
that every exchange is utilizing now, that wasn't utilized 2-3 years ago even. Now they all have it.
Here's the thing, Austin, because people are like, wait, it's not safe. I think
Oh, it's
we
safe, guys. It's
no, no, no,
safe.
no.
No,
We're reminiscing on the old days of crypto, right? Because
correct.
but the whole point is that that's the thing. When this new financial system turns on, all it's going to make all of this stuff is going to be literally it's going to be our new banking system. So yes, it will be safe. So right now what you can do is literally if you pick a good exchange and you have the two-step authenticator, you're fine, and you don't share your information with someone, and don't click on links. Somebody sends you a random, those anything's going around. People send you a random text message, oh, you owe a toll bill, like that kind of stuff. Or if
Right.
someone sends you an email, what I do, I don't answer any emails. If someone even sends me a fishy email or just
Text message.
I don't touch them. So sorry if you guys don't receive emails back from me. If I see any shady emails, I just don't open it because it's not worth it. Um, but in text message, the same thing. But you're gonna be fine if you just pick a good exchange, not all these, small ones, and you got to swap this for that. These exchanges, they have no liquidity. I am telling you, they do not have liquidity. So even if you make $1 million, where are you going to get the money from, right? But that's more so if you're doing these like these coins that, you know, it's just people are in it for.
Let me correct you. It's not the Coinbase exchanges that she's talking about. They have the liquidity. It's the when you go in the old fashioned way where you're going through like Binance, onto, the different wallets. And I don't even know how that process works. They're the ones that don't have the liquidity. Once they get on, you got a shield by using these crypto exchanges such as Coinbase and Uphold and Kraken, etc. You have a shield there, and then you can also, and then if you were to custody your crypto with the banks and stuff, you even have even more protection.
Right. Someone,
So,
Cryptic Gamer said, is it Archocryph, whatever, digital will custody, guys, it's too late for me. Will custody and insure it. I was talking about a bank. Intrust Capital is also being a custodian and gives you
hey,
benefit.
yeah, thank you for that.
He,
Thanks for the information. That's awesome.
and he says, I personally know income tax and capital gains are done. To each own, not financial. Okay, so to each its.
Yeah, hey, thank you for that.
Thank you very much. So someone
Yeah.
that's what kept me from buying. No, guys,
And
listen, guys.
if you guys know something, by all means, share it. That's we're all here to work together. So
Listen, guys. If you have source, there's nothing to fear. We don't do fear over here. Like trust me, I felt that fear today, and I was feeling it for the collective. That was some heavy energy to transmute. This was like the huge siphon fest, like, and that's part of our holy harvest. So please protect your energy, guys. There isn't any fear here. I'm like almost like you can't mess it up simply because the prices are like we gave you a lot of things. The prices are so low that I mean, if it were to fall, I mean, like we're not even, you know, I feel we're already kind of low, so there's definitely more to gain than there is to lose in my opinion. Um, Money, fiat dollars is the Ponzi scheme. Because if you notice, you go now to the store, loaf of bread is like $6. A
it,
coffee, $7.50 or $8. That's
it
the scam.
it's no longer so. Back in, I want to say, the early 1970s, I believe it was 1973, as a matter of fact. It was specifically, we got removed off of the gold standard, to go into fiat. And then it was Henry Kissinger made a deal with the Saudis that all dollars or all oil would be sold in dollars. And that's how we became the world reserve currency. And I'm not sure if we're the world reserve currency prior to that. I think it was, it could have been us along with, Britain's currency. However, it was as of, I want to say, June 9th of 2024, I believe, we are no longer backed by oil. So that's what it was called the petrodollar, because we were that's what was basically backing the dollar. That's what was keeping the dollar afloat. We're
Mm-hmm.
no longer, that 50 years as of June 9th, 2024. So it may have been 74. I could be wrong. It was either, yeah, I believe it was 2024. Don't quote me on those dates, guys, but we are no longer back. We're no longer backed by oil anymore. The oil doesn't have to be sold in dollars. The only thing that's keeping the dollar afloat right now is the stable coins, the purchasing of stable coins.
Thank you.
Nobody's buying our dollar anymore. Nobody's buying the treasury note.
And Austin, when you say stable coins, what do you mean?
The stable coins is like Tether,
Mm-hmm.
US,
You,
the Circle, USDC,
mhm.
and then RLUSD, which is Ripple's stable coin,
Yeah. I don't want to
which
confuse
is going to
people.
be utilized on XRP and many others. So,
Awesome.
and the stable coin's a good thing for crypto. It's a great thing for crypto. Where this is all going, nobody really knows 100% where all this is going. This is just kind of all, trying to put together the pieces of where this is all going. So
Absolutely. Someone asked, can we purchase this at a bank or just online? So I said that, of course, they do have crypto ATMs now in certain
yeah.
gas stations. You can buy Bitcoin, Solana, XRP, XLM, Shiba, Dogecoin. They have like the top 10 main ones. Like you can purchase it there, but if you can get an exchange, it seems harder than it sounds. Let me make this simple for you guys, and we'll get off here. Please, before the next time we meet, just open an exchange, do one of the easier ones, Coinbase, Robinhood, Uphold. Um, People like Kraken because they say people who get prophetic messages say that the cell triggers will be really good on Kraken. I don't know. I haven't personally checked into it, but yeah, check out one of those things, whatever fits for you, and then fund it. I don't care if you have $20, fund it with what you have, right? And then yeah, and then we'll come on here and do some channeling. You guys can do some purchasing, but it's better to have some than to not have none, because here's the thing. Once this system turns on, what if one day you wake up and there isn't any more dollar? Your dollars have been converted into crypto. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to lose value because there's going to be all these fees tacked on to exchanging your money, right? Well, if you just go buy direct and buy it now, when we haven't even hit our bull cycle. Oh my God, the prophecy, forgot to tell you guys. So this has been a delayed bull cycle for a little while now. I had a vision of a bull, like a lot of bulls, like in an open field, and there was one guy trying to like wrangle this certain bull. All the other bulls were kind of just sitting around, just being bulls, I guess, being farm animals. And then there was one that was getting a little unruly, and there was a guy trying to wrangle him and was trying to wrangle him and wrangle him. And then all of a sudden, the bull got loose. He started to run. And I saw the bull run fast, but it was interesting. Then I saw the bull start to run, and then snow was falling on it. So I feel that spirit was telling me that the bull run will be when there is snow in the winter time. So I think we have a small window of time. I mean, we you can do this continuously, but while they're still at these, for me, I think they're low prices, right? So I did see the bull running in the snow. So either the bull run will start very soon and run up into the winter, or it will start in the winter. But nevertheless, in the winter, I saw the bull running with snow on him. And he totally left the guy that was trying to wrangle him behind, and he was just running by himself. So I just wanted to say that.
And when that bull runs, take profits. Please take profits. Don't sell everything. You play it safe, take profits, leave some for the future. That is going to be your best bet. That way you don't get bitter if things don't continue, if this whole transferring where you got the banks and the companies and everything coming in, we don't know when this is all going to happen.
No.
So if you don't take profits and it sinks all the way down, you're going to be bitter. It's happened to a lot of people. So, and you cannot time these things. And, people have tried to put dates and stuff on it, and it hasn't worked out very well. Now, the prophecies do come to pass, but the dates and everything, and don't think that don't think that they're not listening either.
Yeah.
The people who can manipulate these things, and the manipulators are the people that are, that are doing the futures trading. That's what these banks do. They have professional traders that, trade futures, that basically sell the stock market going down, sell the stock market going up. They're the ones that are doing all this. And they have the money to make things move.
Right.
So, and that we're being played. So that's how they're manipulating this, is through futures trading. And what's the trading? I think you do. What's the trading? The other trading? What is it?
I do options.
Options, yeah, options and futures and things like that.
Okay, so also too, So I know, because guys, I know this sounds like a lot.
Oh, and another thing too, when these big corporations, I forgot to mention this, when these big corporations, they're able and allowed legally to stack up without the general public knowing what's going on. And the reason why they allow them to do that, and there's a specific term that they call it, I don't know what it is, but the reason why they're allowed to do that is because it does make huge movements and stuff like that. So they're very well stacking right now, and we don't know it. And you won't know it until they decide to let you know.
Right. Yeah, they do. They trade like off, off of these exchanges. But people can often find when wells like make big purchases or, you know, and stuff
They
like
just don't know who the wells are oftentimes. Is that
that.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, I will say this. It sounds way more difficult than what it is. I'm gonna just make it really simple for you. All you must do is open one of those exchange, Coinbase, Robinhood, Kraken, Uphold, any one of those. Put you some money in there. And I know Texas One, you said you don't have a lot of money. Source said, I will make it enough. Here, I'm gonna give you guys such a low thing. Source told me one time, you just buy $300 of XRP. Now, obviously, you can't sell this cycle with that, but $300 gear marked towards the future. Because remember, Bitcoin was once $3. Now it's over $100,000. And Bitcoin next price point that a lot of these stock and crypto gurus are saying is 170K and then 300. And then eventually economists say within 10 years we are on the track to see $1 million Bitcoin. And guys, you can buy fractional shares. You can buy $50 of Bitcoin, $20, $5, right? In my personal opinion, there's a little bit more room to run in some of the other coins that are priced lower. So we have to bring this back to XRP because this is the channel, right? The world coin. What is the world coin that I was channeling? And I was saying there's a world coin that's about to come, right? So all of
It's
our
XRP.
XRP,
XRP.
you said it.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Yeah,
I
sources
truly believe it's XRP.
Source is God. We just call source God because, you know, there's some spiritual people in here, there's religious people, and just source, the most high, God. Yes, that same. So, yeah, guys, just to make it simple, I'm gonna go, if you had to pick three, I'm gonna go XRP, XLM, and
H bar.
bar. Oh my God, that's what I had. Okay. If you had to choose three, XLM is roughly, it's under 40 cents. It's about 38 cents right now. HBAR is roughly 25 cents and XRP is about $3 roughly. So just set a goal for yourself. Just every week when you get paid, I don't care if it's $10. You can even set it up in these platforms where you can deposit $5 a day or $10 a day or whatever, anything, any amount. And you can set it up to automatically just buy you in. So you just start to create a habit of doing that because this fiat is going away. As everything is going up in price, the dollar only has like how less than 0.5% spending power. Like it's
Yeah, you're not kidding. And they've done the math on it too.
yeah.
And just so you know, today's highs is tomorrow's lows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for instance, like me, I got into XRP way late. That wasn't on my actually, the truth is I was supposed to buy it when it was 50 cents. But like a lot of you guys, I couldn't get it on the platform I had. And I was so bent on not trusting the system. I didn't like the fact that I couldn't buy it on the platform I had because I had trusted that. And then my mistrust in the whole system, then I had to buy it when it was an additional $2. So I had to spend way more money to get what I have than if I would have just not had that fear and bought it when I at 50 cents when source told me to purchase it.
Well,
Oh,
and then let me tell you this too. You know, there's a lot of prophetic voices out there saying that, you know, you had like Shiba Inu, Luna Classic being seed coins, right? Okay, but they were given these big astronomical numbers that will probably happen one day in the way distant future. You know, well, we did see some good pumps that could have been seed for XRP. So the best thing to do is just, you know, get some money and, you know, put it into XRP, XLM, HBAR, select some coins, and then, you know, go ahead. I mean, Shiba Inu and Luna Class, they're so cheap. Put a little bit of money in there, you know, for a good pump too. Just don't put a lot of money in there, you know, because you're not going to need a whole lot. And then but make sure you're stacking those coins right along with that rather than just going all in on those. Make sure you're getting these others too, because we can't time anything.
yeah.
And the prophetic voices have been wrong on timing, 100% wrong. With the exception of maybe, you know, I mean, I'm sure there's somebody that had maybe, well, you know, a time right, but I have yet to see it.
And Crypto Gamer is also saying SHX is a sleeper built on Stellar, utilized by
Thank you for that.
an XRP. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, there's another one, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's funny because remember, Austin, I think, was this in July? It was crazy. I think it was July or every
What's that again?
SHX.
SHX. All
Mhm.
right.
And then
Look at
also
that.
XDC as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I do see that. So if I had to add XDC in there with those other three coins, yes, XDC as well, because I actually saw that in the yesterday's reading. Those
Mhm.
came up and XDC was part of that. So XRP, XLM, and XDC. And Austin is really big on H bar. He has a keen discernment. He literally is like the prophetic. He gets dreams like nobody's business with crypto, and like literally he's always right, you know. So his H bar is definitely his pick, and he sees amazing things for those. But I've had so many signs with the X coins. Every time I go somewhere, I see X, X, X. Because we got to think about it. X is also right representation of putting the lamb's blood above your door so that when trouble happens, trouble will skip your house, right?
Yeah,
And
that's in the Bible. Yeah.
yes, and so that's what we're doing with the X coins as well. So
Ooh, yeah.
yes,
And also, these are the very ones that we specifically mentioned: XCC, XLM, XRP, HBAR. They are all compliant, and there's not a whole lot of coins that are 100% compliant. You know, under that messaging system of ISO 222. Okay, and then Europe already has a compliance system of that's called Mika, and I believe all those coins are Mika compliant as well. So, you know, the compliancy is already, you know, they're already regulating this stuff. Right now we're in regulation phase, and we're starting to go into adoption. They're starting to adopt this right now as we speak. And it's important to get in now, because now we have Main Street, which is us, has right now has an opportunity to get our hands on Wall Street. And this is our opportunity right now. We have to take it.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that pep talk, by the way.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Gotta take it. Also too, it's funny you said Europe because I literally wrote down the euro sign. So that's popping up in my automatic writing as well. And he says SHX is compliant as well.
Awesome. Hey, thank you for that. Yeah.
Thank you. But guys, I'll be honest with you. Now I'm not even gonna say that. We're gonna say that because we'll be down another rabbit hole. We'll be here all night. So keep it simple, guys. Open an exchange. It's really easy. They just ask for your name and just a little bit. It doesn't even ask for that much information. You connect your bank with it, whatever you want to, you can deposit. So you'll always be able to just deposit whenever you want. Once you set it up one time, they'll have you verify. It's pretty simple. It's very user friendly. Like Coinbase, Uphold, Robinhood, these are very, very user friendly, and Kraken, so easy. Very, very easy, guys. So no one should have a problem setting this up. And if you have a problem, you can have someone help you with it. Um, I also do know if you're older, I know some banks have like elderly services where they help you with banking things. So if you take your phone and they're like, "Hey, I'm trying to open a exchange," they also too can help you through the banks as well. Just you got to trust them. You got to trust the person because people do want their hands on crypto, but if you trust it, but you can do this on your own. Um, I believe you can do it. And I know this is a lot of information, but we're gonna come back and just go step by step and then break down more of the prophetic as well. Because by the way, I'm gonna take a moment to gloat on my friend here. Is it okay if I gloat on you for a moment, Austin?
Sure.
So, so Austin was a client of mine last year, right?
Yeah.
About a year
Yeah.
ago. And, we did, he was in my Ascension program. So we did a lot of subconscious work, right? A lot of past life stuff. And it was crazy. Every time that, I would put Austin in hypnosis, he was always bringing up crypto prophecies and stock market stuff. And I was like, what is going on here? Like, and so we traced it back to one of his past lives where he was actually a stockbroker, right? And so
Wow.
we're going to come back and we're going to share all of those things because this is how, like, guys, when I tell you that you come in here with the codes that you need, and he's coming here with some of these codes, and this is how he just like knows what coin to pick, and like he
It,
knows
it was actually my experience with that. It was actually a trip because honestly I didn't believe necessarily in past lives or anything like that. What drew me to Tahirah was the she has an energy of love is
Aw.
what drew me to her, and what I mean by that is you can just tell that she loves people. And like I said before, guys, that I'm you know a Christian. I love Christ. And and as many of you who have went down that road, you go to church, and from my experience, going to church has not been very friendly. And I see different a difference in her. Well, when I contacted her, I was going through some things, and I went ahead and went through hypnosis. And as I was going through hypnosis, I was going into past lives and was seeing some of this energy that was being brought up. And whether you believe in past lives or not, your subconscious is holding on to that specific energy that you can go in and actually cancel out, or transmute it into love. What I'm trying to say. So you take whatever event is in your past life, and you're able to transmute that energy, that negative energy, and transmute it into love. And when you transmute it into love, you'll get different perspective of life, and it'll actually be life changing, believe it or not. So it's a great process, guys. It's helped me out a lot, and I highly recommend it. And it'll honestly, you'll get to know yourself.
Yeah.
So, and with that, what I'll just tell you, what I have found was, I had a past life where I was a stockbroker, during the Great Depression, and I lost $4 million of my clients' money, which today is, I have a giving heart. I'm always like giving all the time, to the point where it's actually a problem sometimes. And And then there was another one where, like in the 1700s, I was this doctor, and and I was a healer, and there wasn't much that came out of that other than we found out that Tahirah was actually a person that I had healed, and we found that out later on. And it just so happens, I'm very well versed with natural medicine, you know, uh, to a point where I, I got knowledge that most people wouldn't have, that just kind of came to me, even above and beyond just reading, reading books and doing like podcasts and things like that. And I was always a C student, so it's kind of one of those things, where these past lives will, whether they're hobbies and or careers or whatever, or just interests, or even problems, you'll find that will be coming up into this lifetime from a past lifetime. It's the strangest thing, but she's an expert at it, guys, and I
Yeah.
highly recommend working with her. So it will change your life.
Thank you so much, Austin. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
absolutely. Absolutely.
and it's very interesting too. So this is what I was saying. I was going to gloat on you for a moment because it's so funny through us just kind of because we found out we had a lot of past lives together. So as I've gone my healing journey, he's actually been part of it, and I've been part of his, and we've been able to help each other make sense of those past lives. And oh my God, we'll be unlocking so many codes and key codes. I'm like, oh my God, this is why this had to happen. Like it's so amazing. But through this time, right? Like Austin has become psychic. So he's an excellent clairsentient. You're an excellent clairsentience. Like he has the ability to feel on an intense level. And to be honest with you, I don't know if you know this or not, but Austin, you have strengthened my clairsentience. So my clairsentience, you guys know how I now come in here and say, "Oh my God, I was so sick being in that energy field." It's because like literally this guy has strengthened my clairsentience, so I'm become better, but he has become an excellent clairsentience. He's also getting visions now. He's also hearing, the clairaudience. So guys, we are able to activate each other because the energy supports it, but it's also too because he was a healer in his past life, right? And he was, a natural healer in his past life. So he has these codes already. So he's come online, and we did an excellent remote viewing, right, of the market. And
Yeah. Yeah.
and we actually want to come and do a lot more remote viewing about that. So we'll be doing that. And yeah, so I'm just taking this time to say, like, you have become like an excellent, clairvoyant. Yeah,
Well, thank you. Yeah.
you're very welcome. You are so welcome. All right, guys. So Cryptic Gamer says reincarnation 100% real for me. Yes, Carolyn, well said, Austin. Awesome. And
And Crypto Gamer, thanks for the info and the communication, man. That's awesome. We appreciate it.
yeah.
So keep coming back.
Yes, awesome. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and let you guys go. This was kind of just blah, but I feel that source is saying, nope, we can't delay. Please open that account. I'm talking, if you can do it now, something is on the horizon, and you guys know we feel it. Something within now and October, there's going to be a massive shift. So we need to get everyone prepared and ready. So with that being said, thank you so much, Austin, for being here. And
Thank you. Love you guys.
love
Have a
you
good
guys.
night.
We'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.